Looks like the verdict has came to an end.
Quite frankly, black people have every right to boycott Asian businesses if they choose to. We have not done enough to fight anti-blackness within our own communities.
Attention all black people, we are boycotting Asian businesses. Justice for Cyrus. I am walking in Beauty Town in Wardolph, the beauty supply store, to let them know we are boycotting. Okay? Wow. It's kind of empty. It's quiet, but there's a few people in here. Attention all black people, we are boycotting Asian businesses. Justice for Cyrus. I don't know if y'all heard about it on TikTok, but a young 14-year-old boy was shot and killed in the back for allegedly stealing 4 bottles of water that he did not do. The verdict came out in June, and the Asian man was found not guilty.
One thing is becoming clear, and we can see that this conversation is not fading away. Now we are in week 3 of Asian boycott, like the transfer of black dollar back into black community. And despite, claims from Asian community that the boycott is finished, many people are still discussing it online. It's not only discussing, people are doing it. And some are even taking the initiative of moving from one Asian shop to another just to chase away black people who are trying to, make business with Asians. And I mean, some people believe that, Asian businesses are beginning to are continuing to feel the economic impact, while others argue that the movement is losing the momentum. But these are Asians who are trying to frustrate, black people to be like, oh, I think it's over. But that's exactly why this debate is continuing. Supporters say their goal is to use their spending power, black dollar, to demand respect and accountability. But critics still insist that the boycott has already failed. What exactly is happening? Either way, emotions are still running high, and people on both sides are trying to shape the narrative. From the Asians, they're trying to say how it's over, it's what. It's not over. That is when we take, from the side of black people. But let's keep watching and hear, the next perspective before jumping into conclusions. What exactly is happening? Let's continue with this video of this, video of this lady who is moving from shop to shop, chasing out black people. What exactly is happening? If this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of this. Otherwise, I'll see you at the end for more discussions.
Black people are boycotting Asian businesses, and that includes beauty supply stores, hibachis, curryouts, spas, and nail salons. Please shop black. Please spend your dollars elsewhere. Black people are not supporting this. We're not spreading hate. We are spreading awareness. Please shop black. Support your black businesses. Justice for Cyrus. Stop shopping in here, black people. Huh? It's not black. No, it's not. It's Asian. Yeah. I'm trying to find black-owned beauty supply stores where we can shop. Have you ever heard of the Cyrus situation? Cyrus Belton, shot in the back by an Asian. We are not supporting Asian businesses. Y'all can do what y'all want, but I'm just spreading the word. It's all on TikTok. We're not supporting Asian businesses due to the murder of Cyrus Belton that occurred in South Carolina, which a 14-year-old boy was shot in the back by an Asian man. The verdict came out not guilty. We're boycotting Asian businesses. They do nothing for our communities. Nothing at all. Nothing. But y'all can do what y'all want to do. But I'm just letting y'all know. We're spending our dollars elsewhere. Black businesses. They don't value our money at all. I appreciate that. To all my followers, viewers, supporters, if you like what I'm doing and you're with the movement, please donate to my Cash App and support the cause. $FOXI 22. That's Cash App again. FOXI 22. Thank you so much.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us. We want to make them pass the strongest civil rights bill they've ever passed. Because we know even after they pass it, they can't enforce it.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm serious about this shit. I'm not spending another damn dime.
When they killed George Floyd, did you stop going to white businesses?
This situation pissed me the fuck off. Because you and your crooked ass teeth had the audacity to bring up George Floyd in a situation where it wasn't even warranted. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When I say anti-blackness and ignorance show themselves, the moment accountability enters the conversation, I'm appalled, disgusted, and furious she would ever make a comment like that and think it was okay to post. A child lost his life due to racial profiling and injustice. And you have the fucking nerve to be more upset about black people boycotting Asian businesses than the actual death of a child. Quite frankly, black people have every right to boycott Asian businesses if they choose to. We have not done enough to fight anti-blackness within our own communities. We have not done enough to prove ourselves as true allies. We have not done enough to make our spaces safe for black people. Instead of supporting their causes and amplifying their voices, you choose to deflect and ask why don't they boycott white businesses. And then you have the nerve to weaponize George Floyd's death against them. I'm not surprised because way too many of y'all are more offended being held accountable than by actual racism. Too many of y'all are invested into proximity to whiteness that you'd rather defend anti-black rhetoric than confront the damage it causes. The Asian community has spent decades benefiting from black economic power, black activism, and black-led civil rights movements while refusing to hold honest conversations about anti-blackness. The fact that we have 35 years between Latasha Harlins and Cyrus Carmack Belton and we're still having the same conversations is a fucking embarrassment. After all these years, after everything that happened during COVID and police brutality against black people, after all the conversations about solidarity, we're still here. I am ashamed of every single one of you who continue pushing this bullshit. Because when you reinforce anti-black rhetoric, you are also referencing anti-Asian rhetoric whether you realize it or not. Spitting on the legacy of people like Yuri Kochiyama, Lee Boggs, and countless others for dismissing the very people who understood that our liberation is tied together. If it weren't for the black community helping pave the way for civil rights in this very white supremacist country, many of us would not have protections, opportunities, and voices we have today. The real gag is, you're not even Asian American. You're Asian from the mainland. So who the fuck are you to speak for Asian Americans or act like you have authority over conversations involving our communities and our history? Instead of inserting yourself into conversations you clearly don't understand. Maybe worry about the anti-blackness that exists in the mainland. And I want all of y'all to stop infantilizing Asian people. Stop pretending Asians have never seen black people before. That excuse is tired. We've all seen black people. We've seen black tourists. We've seen black international teachers. We've taken black people's money. We've consumed black culture while not advocating for their rights. Enough with the fake naivety. So sit the fuck down, learn something, and for once shut your fucking mouth and listen. You're a disgrace to the Asian community and a disgrace to your ancestors.
It seems like the Asian boycott is working. They took their happy asses down there to try to get a 2.0 to the Asian hate bill to force black people to shop at their establishments. But I thought y'all don't need us. I mean, y'all dared us to not shop with y'all, not knowing that Truth or Dare was one of our favorite games back in the day, but y'all dared us to do that. And when we took y'all up on that dare and said, oh, bet y'all want to go down to Washington, D.C. and try to get a 2.0 to the Asian hate to force people, black people, to shop in your establishments. How does that work? Like, so y'all gonna make sure, like, hold our hands and make us forcefully buy your products? Because I think even Donald Duck is gonna look at y'all like y'all goofy as fuck for even trying to present a 2.0. Like, somebody got to break this bill down to me, make it make sense, because They fucking delusional.
Do you guys remember around Juneteenth, there was a big movement in the ghetto? Like, if you're like deep in the Texas hood, you deep in the Memphis hood, deep in the Chicago hood, Atlanta, Alabama, the Rick Chow, the Carmelo Anthony group, the people that were up in war, that was very juicy for a good 2 weeks. Looks like the boycott, looks like the verdict has came to an end. We know that Carmelo Anthony is a piece of shit, raised by shit parents. The funny part was those parents didn't even care for their kid. That's how funny that culture is. They fucking took the money, bought them a car and a house, and left their kid high and dry. And they try to tell us what to do, that you can't even take care of your own. Loyalty looks like is a problem over there. Don't tell us what the fuck to do. We have way more class. And this topic right here is very, very sensitive. They love to try to compare, try to tell you how they feel. It's not how we feel. It's how you're built. It's what you're taught. You're taught a certain way that's far from who we are. That's why this is conflicting. It's not no race thing. This is a character thing. This is a principle thing. It's either you have it or you don't. And people like us trigger these guys. We give them no context. We let them judge us face value, but know nothing of us. But we are standing on the very thing that they lack, principle and character. So here we are. Let me see if this parenting topic can get through these guys. And let's talk about some more. And the funny part about all this is, you see, I don't even need to edit this. This is just off the dome, is that there is a machine out there. There's an algorithm out there that keep on feeding the beast. Look at the comments that I'm going to get down here. It's going to be all going to say, are you anti-black? Are you this and that? They're trying to use these comments to trigger the weak minds, the ones that are oppressed, the victims that are looking for someone like me, thinking that I am the person that they think I am, that they can lash out, right? They're going to drop all these comments down. They're going to, oh, are you this? They're trying to insinuate, and then they're going to antagonize the other weak mind people and go, oh yeah, this is our target right here. We've been trying to put our feelings somewhere. And this app is a very toxic app. These AI bots, these bot accounts, all their sole entire job is to trigger you, is to keep you psychologically trapped here with these minute conversations. That means nothing if you have a real life. So I want to see this experiment will still work. I've said a lot of keywords in the past 3 minutes. Like I said, I'll say it, drop some more. Rick Chow, Carmelo Anthony, right? Boycott, what happened, right? These movements were supposed to be huge. Something was supposed to happen, but nope. This emotion is only able to be found here on TikTok. Because TikTok is a psyop, right? I'm starting to see it's a test from the government, because there was something here that was very foreign and odd for me, who's someone who's been on the internet for such a long time. There was a pattern I've noticed. I was like, okay, this is not normal. This is not genuine. This is very systematic. And I've started to notice a pattern. I'm a master at pattern recognition. Gotcha.
It's so funny meeting actual racists in a small town because, like, it doesn't make any sense. Because, like, bro, those groups you hate, none of them's here. You've never met one. I know a guy one time, he said, I don't trust black people. I said, name one. And he went, nah, Obama? Dudes around here be talking like, Jews run the world. I'm like, I know they don't run our town of 1,300 people. Your uncle does. That's how you keep getting out of them DUIs. Like, bro, my town was tied in 2008 for the whitest county in the nation. We are 99% white. If the local Mexican restaurant closes down, that goes back up to 100. Like, the last time any of us saw an Asian, a black person, and a native in the same spot, it was on the cover of a 4th grade social studies textbook. Like, I've never met a black person. They seem cool. You're like, we gotta get rid of them immigrants. I'm like, bro, do you know how hard it is for me to find a white person that's not on drugs to do any work at all? I know 2 guys, and both of them's on disability, so I gotta pay them under the table. It's a whole big to-do. I hear people around here like, them immigrants are taking our jobs. I'm like, you've never had a job. You've never wanted a job. I've known you my whole life, Johnny. Your parents put you up to jumping off the monkey bars when we were in 3rd grade and faking a back injury to get perks. You've been on disability ever since. No one in your whole family's had a job, ever. Nobody taking your job.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Now, let's talk about it. But before we go any further, I think it's always good to give credit to those who deserve it. I mean, let's have time to acknowledge the level of organization being shown by many black content creators and, community members within black community featured in this discussion. I mean, whether people agree with the boycott or they don't agree, yeah, it depends on which side you are. But we cannot deny the fact that, we can't deny the amount of effort black people are, putting into, in trying to spread the awareness. Some are visiting, businesses and reminding shoppers about the campaign. Others are encouraging, to support black-owned businesses. Some have even started compiling what they call Black Business Bible, like a dictionary, okay, of where can you get what. I mean, that's so interesting, It's like a directory intended to help, black people to find and, support, black entrepreneurs. And it shows that many participants see this as something which is more than a trending hashtag. They see it as an attempt to build, long-term economic support within their own community, within their own, black community. Now, let's break down the major themes being discussed throughout this video. I may have missed, some, what you think can be important themes. Can you show them? Let's discuss them down in the comment section, and I would definitely appreciate. Now, one major theme is about, economics. I can see some sort of economic pressure in this. You see, the people featured in this video repeatedly argue that money is one of the strongest forms of influence, okay? Forms of power. Their message is simple. If a community feels disrespected, it can choose where to spend its money. It's that simple. Throughout the video, several people, like several speakers, encourage viewers to redirect their spending, toward black-owned businesses. Instead of businesses they believe have failed to support or respect black community. So it's like, let's give them what they deserve, okay? What they deserve is we have to give them our back, okay? We don't need to show them what we have. We don't need to give them our money. Let's give them what they deserve. They deserve to be disrespected financially, because they are. I hope that's what this means. But whether that strategy succeeds or not, but the discussion, makes one thing clear. And, Asians are feeling, that blow that, I think black people are not people to mess up with. Because, you can go into their shops and as you can see the videos, you can see they're empty, You may find 2-3 people as black people who are still not complying. But the thing is, they are feeling, okay? They cannot make sales as they used to. And somebody also said, it's not needed to have 100%, compliance, okay? No, even 30% of black people, the moment Asian businesses can lose customers like 20%, even 40%, is still, their business will still go down. In business environment, 20% loss is enough. So she was trying to encourage black people that, no, don't worry that, there are still black people who are still, shopping with Asians. Don't worry about them. We don't need 100% compliance. No. 50% is enough. 20% is enough. We know not all can do this, but don't worry about it. In economics, 20% loss is enough to bankrupt the business. And many participants believe economics can become a form of protest. And the second major theme is about accountability. Now, in the video, several speakers argue that the issue goes beyond like one court case. They say the conversation is about, patterns, historical, experiences, and whether communities are willing to acknowledge concerns about anti-black attitudes within their community. Now, one speaker even says that accountability has not happened enough. Instead of focusing only on defending, reputation, they argue they should also be honest conversations about, repairing the trust that has been lost between, Asian community and the other communities. And then we can just say, between, Asian community and black community. Another theme that is also being discussed is about awareness. Now, you can see that there are people who are taking it seriously, entering stores, speaking to customers, recording videos, and posting updates online. Their goal appears to be like simple. It's just about keeping the discussion visible. Because when you stop talking about it, it's when it looks like it's fading. Okay? But people need to be reminded. Each time they want to buy something, they have to be reminded. Okay, so that's like their goal, that let's keep spreading the message. Because sometimes when you keep quiet about something, it's when it looks like maybe you are no longer paying attention to that, and other people can feel like, I think it's over, but it's not over. So they do not want people to forget why the boycott started. It's about building financial empire within black community. So whether somebody supports that approach or they don't support, but I think it's something that demonstrates how social media can be used to organize conversations around shared cause, like this movement of transferring black dollar back into the community. Now, another important theme is about community investment. Now let's talk about it. I think the repeated call to stop going to Asian shops and shop black only, or go to black shops. I think that thing appears throughout the video. Now, the idea is not only about avoiding certain businesses like these Asian businesses, no, but it is also about strengthening businesses, owned by members of black communities, just trying to empower, black people, okay, to give them, like extra push. There are businesses who were still there as the black businesses, but they were not getting more customers because most of black customers were going to Asians. But now they may have extra push in terms of customer support. So I think that explains why people are creating business directories, recommending, black-owned stores, and encouraging viewers to circulate those lists. And the discussion also highlights the growing influence of digital activism instead of just relying only on, traditional protests, like going to the streets, taking placards, sign, okay, like, what, but you can just do it digitally while you are at your home. And this has to be safe. It's safe and it reaches many places, more people. So many people, we can see they're using TikTok, live streams, short videos, online discussions to spread their message. Information now travels, much faster than before. And a single video can reach millions of people within just some seconds, within just some minutes, within just some hours. And that gives some grassroots campaigns the ability to, grow quickly. Okay. And the video also explores some sort of disagreement. I know people sometimes disagree. Not everyone featured shares the same opinion. One creator questions whether the boycott has already lost momentum. Another argues that no, the movement is still active and is even powerful than it used to. Okay, so other people challenge that no, it's not true that the boycott is over, but rather it's even powerful than it was. And so you can see there is some sort of, back and forth. But at the end of the day, we can see boycott is still there. Okay? Is still there. But the broader conversation is about solidarity, which is building up in the black community. Somebody appreciated that, let's thank these Asians for daring us to boycott them. It has brought black people together. Now black people can see, they have voice. They can agree on one thing. So, there are moments where problems can bring people together. So, somebody appreciated that. But some speakers also argue that different communities should stand together against racism. Others believe solidarity must be demonstrated through actions, not only through words. And that disagreement becomes one of the, the emotional centers of the discussion. Another noticeable theme is also perception. You see, some speakers in this video believe that the boycott is having an economic effect. Others argue that the online conversation situations can make moments appear to be like, huge, to be larger or smaller than they actually are. Because it's about perspective. How are you looking at? Which lens are you using? Okay, so the video never fully settles that debate. Instead, it represents, competing interpretations of what exactly is happening. But finally, I think the biggest theme running through this entire discussion, this video, is the power of narrative. You see, every person is speaking about the influence, okay, like how viewers interpret the situation. Some want audiences to see the boycott as a successful movement. Others want audience to believe it has already faded. That battle, over public opinion is almost one important thing that the boycott itself is having, that people will have different views. But like I'm saying, some of the Asians are the ones who are saying no, the boycott is over. But according to some comments, they just want to make people be frustrated, like, oh, it's over, but it's not yet over, according to black people. But at the end of the day, regardless of where somebody stands in this discussion about this movement, but this video, we have just watched demonstrates just how economic choices, community organizing and social media and public debate have become, deeply connected today in today's world. And it shows just it shows that, conversations about justice, about accountability, about respect and economic empowerment continue to generate strong opinions, and those discussions are unlikely going to disappear anytime soon. I'm sure people will keep, discussing these things. I don't know what your take is. I would like to know from you, what exactly is your take? What exactly is your take? Let me see you next time, and I love that you came to watch the video. If this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of these discussions.